Okay, so here's the deal. Eyes up here. Here's the deal. Hey. We just spent all of last week working on one-step equations. Okay, where we talked about if we have an equation, we need to use the inverse operations to undo anything that we need to get rid of. So we talked about if something was being added, we needed to subtract it to undo it, or vice versa. If something was being multiplied to our variable, we needed to divide to undo it, or vice versa. Okay. Now we're going to be working on equations that require us to do 2 steps. Okay. So we're going to need to be pretty careful with our work. We're going to need to especially show our work because we have more that we need to balance out.
Oh my God, man.
Okay, I need you to get your folder out. Turn to page 12. All right, so the first thing we need to do is locate the variable. I'm going to suggest that you circle it, okay? Or if you want to use a highlighter and highlight it, that's fine. But we need to locate the variable, okay? So like if I'm doing this problem right here, I'll highlight or I'll circle X, okay? What's going to happen? Whoa. Okay, so when we have two numbers that we need to get rid of, what we're going to do is we're going to undo the addition and subtraction first, then we're going to undo the multiplication and division second. So we're going to have to kind of go backwards with our order of operations. And what I like to say is we're going to look at whatever number is closest versus furthest away. And the further away the number is from our variable, that's what we need to move first. Okay. She's okay. Yeah, she'll be back. Well, not today, but she'll be back. I don't know. That's not true. Put my microwave. The teacher lied to me. Okay, so on number 1.
Hi, Miss Liverton's on her way.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. All right. So I want everybody to draw their fence on number 1. Draw your fence. And then either circle or highlight your variable. Our variable is A. Okay. Adrian, you're not helping them. That's weird. Okay. All right. So now, which one is closest to A? The 9 or the 2? Okay. The 9 is the closest. So that's the number we are going to move last. Okay. 9 is the closest. So that's the number we're going to move last. So first we need to take care of this. How is the 2 tied to the A? What operation? Okay, so to undo subtraction, we need to add 2 to both sides. So write that down. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a line to kind of separate out my steps, okay? Yeah. All right, so what do we have? What happens to -2 and +2? What happens, Hudson? They cancel, okay? And we're left with 9A. Those 2 cancel out. And what are we left with on the right side? -63. Okay. Here's our variable A. We're still wanting to get it by itself. Okay. That red one. Okay, what operation is between 9 and A? Okay, so we need to undo the multiplication with what operation, Callan? So we need to divide both sides by 9.
Undo.
So what happens here? These cancel out, okay? So those cancel, these cancel. And we are left with A equals, Adrian, what's negative 63 divided by 9? Negative 7. Thank you, Giselle, for helping him out. Okay, but he got it. He got there. Okay, so our answer is negative 7. Now remember, when we get a solution, that's a fancy word for our answer. Okay, we can always check to make sure that our solution is correct. Okay, our equation was 9a minus 2 equals negative 65. So if we take 9 times negative 7 minus 2, does that equal negative 65? Let's check. What's 9 times negative 7? Oh,
Yeah.
you should call her on that one.
Negative 63. Bro, be quiet, Adrian.
Giselle,
Thank
is
you.
negative 63 minus 2 equal to negative 65?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
You don't have to do that plus thing anymore.
What do you mean plus thing?
Like from subtraction, maybe an addition.
Well, you can.
Oh.
Maybe I did that in my head. Yep. Parker, I need you to go ahead and go now. Okay, bye. Okay. All right, what do you think about this problem? It's almost lunch. It's not quite lunch. Okay. Do you have any concerns about this problem?
No.
Please put my marker away.
Oh, my bad. Stop being disrespectful. I'm sorry. Oh, miss. Come on.
No? Okay. What I want you to do is draw your fence for number 4. Draw your fence for number 4.
Well, that's number 2, miss.
Yep, that is. I want you to go ahead and highlight or circle your variable x. Okay. 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 Jackson, should we move the 7 or the 4 first? Why? Okay, so Jackson knows we need to move the 7 first, but he's not sure why. Who can raise their hand and tell us why the 7 needs to go first, Giselle? Okay, so the negative 4 is the closest to x. 7 is the furthest away. So Connor, how are we going to undo the 7? Okay, since it is being added to the x, we need to undo it by subtracting 7 from both sides. So the 7 minus 7, those are going to cancel. So we still have our minus 4x. Dimitri, what's 31 minus 7? 24? Do you agree with Dimitri? Great. Okay, Riley, how is the -4 tied to the X? What do you say, Riley?
I'm gonna go with Jackson. No.
Well, operation is in between the -4 and the X. Okay, and so in order to undo multiplication, Connor, what do we need to do?
Division.
So we need to divide both sides by this -4, okay? The -4 divided by -4, those will cancel. David, what's 24 divided by -4?
Oh, that's 20.
So we're dividing. We're dividing, David.
Oh. I don't.
Just 6
You said 24 divided by 4, right?
divided by -4.
Oh, yeah. Like, he literally had it last year, too.
I'm done. I'm done.
You really.
Stop trying to talk to me.
No, I'm telling you.
All right, okay, we're gonna go down to number 8. Not number 8, good gravy. Number 4, we're gonna go to number 4. We're gonna come back to number 3.
We're gonna come back to it. Why not?
Here. Okay. Need to fix that right, and I'm not gonna ask you again.
So we skipped 3 to 4.
We're gonna come back to 3. Okay, all right, go ahead and either highlight or circle the variable. Okay, raise your hand if you know which number we need to move first.
8.
Giselle. Okay, 23. I know that there's a subtraction right here, but what's in front of the 23? Okay, 23 is a positive. So I'm gonna just write in a little positive here. Okay. So we are really needing to undo addition. Okay, that is a positive 23. So we need to subtract 23 from both sides so that this positive 23 minus 23 will cancel each other out. Okay, it's kind of a weird problem. Okay, so now who can tell me, raise your hand, what I should be writing right here? Hilton? 5W, he says. Why do you think it's negative? So Aaliyah thinks that minus needs to come with it. Do you agree, Kelton? Okay, so this is why I wanted to do this example with you. This minus is attached to the 5 still. We only got rid of the 23. So we still have minus 5W on the right side. 8 minus 23. Aaliyah saying okay. Been on for the past 2 minutes. Okay, Leo, what will our next step be? We want W to be by itself. What operation is in between the -5 and the W? Times. So how do we undo times? We divide. Okay. So the -5 divided by 5 will cancel each other out. So we're left with a W. -15 divided by -5 gives us negative or positive, Matu? We have a negative divided by a negative. What's our answer going to be? Positive. Good. Okay, now Hudson, we're gonna go back to number 3. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm already finished with this.
Okay, so this will be checking your work. All right, number 3, draw your fence. So I have it's a function in the app to where if I try to draw a line and I just hold it there, it'll straighten it out for me. I know, it's pretty sweet.
Wait, what? Can you spell it out?
Nope. All right, here we go. Highlight or circle your variable. That's what we need to get by itself. So we need to get rid of the 11 and we need to get rid of the 3. So I'm going to ask you to vote. Which one do we need to move first? Who votes that we need to move the 3 first? Who votes that we need to move the 11 first? Oh, we did not have very many hands. We're going to try that again. Who votes we need to move the 3 first? Who votes we need to move the 11 first?
Oh, wait.
Okay. Why'd you change your mind, Hudson?
Yes, it's plus 11.
Okay. We need to do that addition or subtraction first. So do you see how the 3 is the closest to K? That means it's the last to go. So like Hudson said, we need to undo our subtraction by adding 11 to both sides. Okay. So we still have K over 3. The 11s undo each other. And -5 plus 11 gives us 6. Okay, so now this is a little different kind of problem than what we've seen today. No big deal. Okay, what operation is in between K and 3? All right, so we need to undo by multiplying. So since 3 is being divided into K, we are going to undo it by multiplying both sides by 3. Okay, so these 3's are going to cancel each other out. And we have K equals 6 times 3. Okay, we're gonna look at number 7 and then I'll give you time for your homework. Okay, we're gonna look at number 7 and then I'll give you time for your homework. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna highlight my variable X. There it is. Okay. Brady, what's the first thing we need to do? We need to get rid of the 19. Now, what kind of 19 is it?
Positive.
It is a positive 19. So we need to subtract 19 from both sides. Okay. So that the positive 19 minus 19 will cancel. What's 30 minus 19?
11.
Okay. And then what do we have left on the left side?
-1x.
Negative X, and I'm glad that you told me that there is a 1 there. So this is just like that problem we did earlier. The 19s are canceling each other out, but we still have the minus there that is attached to the X. So it's a minus X, but then the coefficient is a 1. So it's a -1x. Okay. So what do we do with that -1? Okay, so since -1 is being times to X, we need to divide by the -1 to get X equals -11. Okay, so let me explain something about your homework. Could you all please turn to page 14? Okay.